Hi, welcome to mediatorpodcast.com, a podcast and video series about mediation, negotiation, and collaboration. My name is Melissa Gragg, and I'm a valuation expert and divorce mediator in St. Louis, Missouri. I specializing in divorce and partnership disputes, but today we're going to discuss overcoming financial abuse and insights from a financial analyst with Leah Hadley. She's actually a CDFA or Certified Divorce Financial Analyst and an Accredited Financial Counselor, which we'll talk more about soon. But Leah is based in Cleveland, Ohio, and she's committed to working with people in a very compassionate fashion and offering them financial guidance through different life issues such as divorce. She's also a best-selling author. She has an amazing amount of knowledge, and we're going to get into some pretty good topics. So welcome, Leah. How are you?
I'm well, thank you. Thank you so much for having me, Melissa.
What other things or what types of people are doing this type of financial abuse? And are there warning signs? Like, should we be more caught? Like, should I see it coming? Or am I just so far in it, it's too late? You know, like where can I kind of identify where I'm at?
I'm so glad you asked this question. And I want to just take a step back to what you were saying before, Melissa, where a lot of times when you do reach out to professionals, you may find that you aren't received well, right? That you do get these obnoxious comments, that people are condescending. There's no question, the financial legal world, it's pervasive, right? But it is also those kinds of folks who often are the kinds of folks who tend to be the people who are more abusive, right? And so when you look for your professionals, just like, everybody else, there are professionals who are going to take control and leave you out of the conversation. And I see it all the time where people who experience financial abuse then find an attorney who's then doing things that are not necessarily keeping the client in the loop or, helping them to really understand the financial options or whatever the case may be. And so really paying attention to those interactions that you have, it may be what you're used to in your marriage, but now it's time to be looking for somebody who truly is your advocate. And that's going to be a different dynamic than maybe what you're used to experiencing. And so that's really important to be aware of. But in terms of what leads to financial abuse, honestly, a lot of times it looks lovely initially. A lot of times it looks like gifts. It looks like somebody taking care of you. It looks like, oh, you don't have to worry about the finances. I'll take care of the finances, right? But the warning signs kind of over time, it's not having that access to information. It's, why is he signing that? Or it's, a lot of times, and every single year you should be reviewing your tax return. I tell people this all the time, but if you're not reviewing your tax return every year, there's an issue. Somebody is signing your tax return. So you should be reviewing your tax return every year. If you're not looking at your tax return, if you're being told to sign your tax return without having an opportunity to review it, if you're not in a position to be able to ask questions about your return or you're getting negative feedback, if there are questions, just stress in the relationship around financial conversations. You guys aren't talking about financial goals. You're limited in terms of the information that you have available to in terms of your long-term savings, your investments, things like that. You see things coming in the mail from different financial institutions. Now, with more online banking and that kind of thing, there's fewer and fewer statements coming in the mail, but sometimes you'll see, a contract come through where it's like, what is this? We've had all kinds of people find things or have things come up. Sometimes an email gets forwarded by mistake or what have you, where it's like, did he just buy a property? Like, what is this? Where did this come from? Right. And so, being on the lookout and being aware, but the most important thing is really making sure that you are always familiar with your financial situation, even if you're not necessarily the one making the investment decisions, but you still are having that conversation with your financial planner, with your spouse. So that way you're informed, even if you're not comfortable with the decisions. That's the pieces to keep being informed. If you're getting any pushback and being involved in those conversations, getting any pushback and having a conversation with your accountant, those are all red flags.